We hear the term smart home all the time, but today we're going to push way past that. We're diving into how advanced KNX systems are creating buildings that aren't just connected, they're truly intelligent. So, what if your building could actually think for itself? Seriously, imagine a space that doesn't just wait for you to flip a switch, but actually anticipates what you need. A building that knows the weather outside, what time it is, and even whether you're in the room. And then adjusts everything perfectly. That's the world we're stepping into right now. All right, so how on earth does a building pull that off? How does it get that smart? Well, it needs something like a central nervous system, a universal language that lets every single part of the building, we're talking lights, heating, security, you name it, all communicate seamlessly. And that language, that backbone, is KNX. Now, the two big keywords here are global and manufacturer independent. And this is huge because it means KNX isn't some walled garden where you're locked into one brand. Nope. It's an open protocol that gives you the freedom to pick and choose the absolute best device for every single job without ever being stuck in a single ecosystem. And when I say manufacturer independent, I'm not kidding. We're talking over 300 manufacturers, all part of the KNX Association. That gives you this incredible menu of compatible devices to choose from. But it's more than just choice, right? This interoperability, it future-proofs your investment. It means your system can grow and adapt for years and years to come. Okay, probably the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of KNX as the building's central nervous system. It's a great analogy. Your sensors, things like motion detectors or thermostats, they're like the nerve endings, constantly feeling and gathering info. Then you've got the actuators, the things that actually do stuff, like dim the lights or move the blinds. Those are the muscles. And the KNX bus? That's the spinal cord. It's this simple, decentralized cable that carries every single message between all those different parts. So, we've got the theory down. Now let's get to the fun part and see how this whole network of components actually comes together to create a truly responsive, intelligent environment. This is where it gets real. You see, an intelligent building doesn't just care about what's happening inside. It's constantly paying attention to the world outside. The sun, the clouds, the wind, the temperature. It takes all that live data and uses it to make smarter, proactive decisions about what should happen inside. And this is so much more than a simple, hey, it's sunny, so close the blinds kind of thing. No way. The system is way more sophisticated. It's looking at the brightness, the exact position of the sun in the sky, what season it is, and the current room temperature, all at the same time, to find that perfect balance between letting in natural light and keeping the room comfortable. So, where is all this amazing data coming from? Well, it's coming from things like weather stations and outdoor sensors that feed information directly to modules just like this one. What you're looking at is basically how the system takes those raw inputs, changes in temperature, wind speed, brightness, and turns them into those smart automated actions we were just talking about. And believe me, this intelligence goes way beyond just shading. With things like Dolly gateways, the system gets this super precise digital control over every single light fixture. This is what makes things like human-centric lighting possible, where the color of the light actually shifts throughout the day to mimic the sun's natural rhythm. Super cool stuff that can even help with focus and well-being. Of course, it also ties in the entire HVAC system for crazy efficient climate control and manages energy by smartly powering down areas that nobody's in. Okay, so we've covered the senses and the muscles of our building's nervous system. But what about the brain? What's making those complex, conditional decisions? Well, that's where logic modules come into play. This is really the big leap from simple action-reaction. Instead of just, if this happens, then do that, a logic module lets the system check multiple conditions before it does anything. It adds this layer of nuance, of intelligence, that starts to feel a lot like how a person would make a decision. Let me give you a perfect, super simple example. Without logic, if you walk down the hallway at 2 a.m., a motion sensor might just blast the lights on at 100%. Jarring, right? But with a logic module, the system checks the time first. It sees, hey, it's after 10 p.m., it knows you probably don't want to be blinded on a late-night trip to the kitchen. So what does it do? It brings the lights up gently to maybe 20%. That is intelligent automation. Okay, with all this incredible complexity humming along in the background, you might be wondering, how do I actually interact with it all? Good question. Let's take a look at the controls. Well, you really get the best of both worlds here. On the wall, you've got these beautiful, sleek touch panels and multifunction switches that give you instant, intuitive control right there in the room. But then, in your hand, You've got mobile apps that give you a complete bird's eye view of the entire system. You can monitor and tweak things from literally anywhere on the planet. All right, now for a system this powerful and this robust, you're going to need equally robust professional tools to design it, set it up, and maintain it. And for KNX, that one essential tool is called ETS. Just think about that for a second. One single piece of software that can program every single device in the building, no matter which of those 300 plus manufacturers made it. It's this one tool for everything approach that really makes KNX so incredibly powerful for the pros. It standardizes the whole process, from the initial blueprint all the way to long-term troubleshooting. And when you have to figure out if something's wrong, ETS is an absolute beast. What you're looking at here is what's called a telegram tracer. It basically lets a technician see every single command, every piece of data, every conversation happening on that network in real time. This means that troubleshooting isn't just guesswork anymore, it's a precise science. And ultimately, it's having a tool this powerful that gives KNX its reputation for being so incredibly robust and reliable. It's that professional foundation that these intelligent buildings are built on, and it ensures they're going to run efficiently for decades. So when you think about it, a KNX-powered building is always sensing, always thinking, and always acting. It's like a living system speaking a language of data and automation. The question really isn't if your building can talk anymore, it's what you want it to say.